In our previous video of fact versus opinion, we discussed in detail the number of clinical trials which has been done from 1980 to 2004 with a single objective to prove that bypass and angioplasty, if we add it over the medical management, I mean the drugs if the patient is already taking, and then if you do a bypass and angioplasty along with the standard medical management, then it might be able to provide protective effect against death and heart attack. Now this was an assumption which has been repeatedly failed in clinical trials. So in 1980s to 2004, trials like CASS and ACME, YEAST and RITA, all these trials has been done to prove this point. But in spite of this rigorous randomized trial, the ability of bypass surgery and angioplasty to prevent death and heart attack has not been proven. Now, the basic assumption why the patient is subjected to this highly risky procedure in a stable patient is to provide mortality benefit. Because the procedure itself has a high risk, it is believed that this risk of death, heart attack, stroke and renal failure, which are all procedure related, it is acceptable because this treatment might be able to provide better outcome in the future. But if they are not able to show this outcome benefit or reduction in the heart attack and death rate, then the reason why this treatment should be given to the stable patient can be because of only one thing, is to improve the quality of life. So compared to medical management alone, if you do this bypass surgery and angioplasty over this medical management, the patient tend to feel better, able to do routine activity much better than medical management alone, and then free of angina. So absolutely no angina. They may be able to achieve much better than what medical management could able to achieve. Now this is the only thing a bypass and angioplasty can able to provide. But in many future trials, even this assumption that the reduction in angina and quality of life and exercise time is also been repeatedly questioned. Now, the new era from 2004, I mean from 2004 to 2007, there are many trials which has been published. So all these trials are again focused to show the bypass angioplasty benefit. Now, suddenly there is a trend, because in previous video also we have discussed, instead of actually comparing bypass with medical management and angioplasty with medical management, which was done by CASS and ACMI trial, suddenly there is a trend of comparing bypass surgery with angioplasty to show which one is superior. Now this is something is very surprising, because when these two highly interventional procedures were not able to provide the intended benefit of mortality and prevention of heart attack, then why would you even suggest and why would you able to find out which one is superior? So putting all together, in 2000, in later of 2000, there are three more trials has been designed. These are called MAS, medicine angioplasty surgery study, and then second is a BARI, bypass angioplasty revascularization investigational trial, and then the third one is a COURAGE, which is a clinical outcome utilizing intervention against drug evaluation. So these three trials are designed to show whether the new trend, because from previous era, previous decade and the new decade, there are a lot of advancement in surgical procedure as well as a lot of advancement in the medical therapy also. So basically they have put up an hypothesis, even though the previous trial failed to show any benefit, because of the advancement of the technique, the bypass technique and angioplasty technique, and also introduction of a new way of doing surgery. Rather than taking the graft from your leg, now they are able to take a graft from your chest and the arm, which are all arterial graft, before it is a venous graft. And then the angioplasty procedure itself has advanced from just opening up an artery, which is called plain old angioplasty, balloon angioplasty, to bare metal stent and drug-eluting stent. Because of this advancement, again the hypothesis of bypass and angioplasty can prevent heart attack and death was again tried in a randomized clinical trial. Now the first trial, MAS, medical angioplasty surgery study. In this study, in the first study, probably around 200 plus odd patients were taken, and they've been divided into three groups. One is a medical, one is an angioplasty, one is a bypass. Now, they picked up a group of patients who are considered to be very, very high risk, which has high death rate and a high risk of heart attack. This subgroup of patients has been specifically taken to see whether bypass and angioplasty could able to provide the benefit, intended benefit of heart attack and death in this subset of group. So these groups are called patient with LAD, left anterior descending proximal lesion. In fact, at that time, this lesion in this artery, which is very proximal, it means when the vessel is originating, there itself there is a blockage which is more than 80%. So if this main vessel is blocked, then the large area of your heart muscle is reduced, because is in jeopardized because of the lack of blood flow. So this vessel is called the widowmaker, because it causes a high rate of death and causes heart attack as well as death. So when this group of patients taken and then they followed up to 3 years, even in this group, bypass and angioplasty have not shown any superiority when compared with the medical management alone. So this is a very shocking. And then what they did is from MAS they shifted to MAS 2. So what they did is now in MAS, rather than including a primary endpoint which is death and heart attack, because any patient who wants to go for a bypass or angioplasty, obviously they want to know whether the procedure can reduce the risk of getting a heart attack or death. But surprisingly, because of all the trial which has been failing from 1980s, there is another third parameter is added as a primary endpoint. This is called revascularization if the patient is refractory to medical management. So patient who are on medical management, if they get chest pain repeatedly, then they are allowed to go for a bypass or angioplasty as decided by the experts. Now, I mean, this is a little bit controversy, because the trial is focused to show whether there is a superiority of bypass and angioplasty when compared with medical management alone. But in that, if you allow the physician to do a bypass and angioplasty without any subjective evidence, because if you say if there is a heart attack and then we will do a surgery, then there is an evidence. But angina is such a soft endpoint, and if you do a surgical procedure, probably the patient who always think they have a block, they are susceptible by the counseling of a physician to go for a bypass and angioplasty. Rather, that what it happened in MAS 2 trial. The MAS 2 trial is around 611 patients, has been followed up to 1 year, 5 year and 10 year. So even up to 1 and 5 year, there is no change in heart attack or death. Heart attack or death in the group of patients who are advised to go for a bypass or angioplasty. So the MAS trial, at the end of 10 years, still they were not able to show any benefit in death and heart attack rate when comparing with medical management and bypass surgery or angioplasty. But there was a small trend of advantage in the bypass surgery which started appearing after 10 years. This advantage is overall reduction, because they add up a new endpoint called revascularization. So the overall endpoint, what I would say is there was a trend towards reduction in non-fatal heart attack. So heart attack which will not lead to death was mildly reduced, probably around 8 to 10% absolute risk reduction was seen in the 10 year. So altogether, similar to previous trials, the MAS trial has also unable to establish the superiority of bypass and angioplasty if they added over the medical management. So this all comes to a simple conclusion that if you are on optimal or the standard medical management with all other lifestyle changes and risk factor reduction, you will derive the maximum benefit what the treatment can offer you. So over that, an angioplasty and bypass would actually try to increase your risk, because of the procedure is highly invasive and they may not be able to provide any benefit. Otherwise, there is only a small benefit of decreasing in angina. So if this is clearly put forward to any patient that they have to undergo the procedure only to have some more symptomatic improvement, I don't think many patients will be susceptible to this idea of going for a highly interventional procedure. But well, I mean, after the MAS trial, there is another trial which is published during the same period. This is called BARI, Bypass Angioplasty Revascularization Investigation. Now, the BARI trial initially again compared bypass with angioplasty, and they followed up to 1 year, and they didn't find out any difference, which is similar to what has been done all along. But when they looked at in a subgroup, in fact this trial was not powered to look at the subgroup, but when they looked at a small subgroup of patients who are diabetic with multivessel disease. So a diabetic patient with have a more than 2 vessel, multiple lesion, if they undergo a surgical procedure, then there is a improvement in survival, and this has rekindled the interest of bypass over angioplasty. But in fact this trial is not powered, so there would not be a conclusive evidence or we can able to come up with a confidence to say bypass can reduce your improve your survival. Then it has to go for another trial. So what they did is immediately after looking at it, they designed BARI 2D trial. So they looked at all the diabetic patient and they designed a trial in a slightly different way. What they looked at is they looked at patient with bypass and angioplasty together. It is called revascularization, and then medical management. So the patient is put on medical management, and if still they have angina, they will go for a bypass or angioplasty, any one procedure, and then these are compared with medical management. Now this trial is a very important trial because it is comparing what we call as yearly revascularization with medical management alone. So this is very important for the patient to understand this aspect of the trial, because many of the patients are under the impression once their vessels are seems to be diseased, whether it is a single or a double vessel or a triple vessel disease, or the lesion can be 80%, 90% or 100%. It has been obviously been informed to them that earlier if they go for a revascularization procedure, either a bypass surgery or angioplasty, they would definitely derive the benefit of this surgical procedure, which is prevention of death and heart attack. Now this theory which you hear from the physician often is what put into trial in this trial called BARI 2D. So they followed this patient up to 5 years. So even after 5 years, the total number of patients is around 1829 patients. They followed up to 5 years, and this 5-year follow-up again did not show any benefit in patients who undergo immediate revascularization and patients who are managed on medical management alone. So 2000 odd patients who have been followed up to 5 years did not show any benefit in the survival. So the death rate remains similar whether you went for an emergency bypass or angioplasty when you are stable, or if you are on medical management alone, or even the cardiac death. The cardiac death also did not change. So this is a very surprising finding, because revascularization did not offer any benefit. This has happened with the fact that bypass has been well advanced by this time now, and angioplasty is also well advanced. It is not just a plain old balloon angioplasty. The bare metal stent and drug eluting stent also been evolved during this period. So in spite of all this advancement and technical advancement in the procedure, bypass and angioplasty in BARI 2D trial again failed to show the benefit of mortality and morbidity. But in 5 years there was a small advantage in bypass surgery group in the reduction of non-fatal MI or major adverse cardiac event. So if you put together death, heart attack, stroke and hospitalization all put together, then there is a tendency of small incremental benefit of bypass surgery, which is hardly 8.1%. But if you take individually, your death and heart attack risk did not change. So altogether, this trial also came to be a big negative trial in clinical cardiology, and what there was a conclusion which is made in 1980s or even in 1970s after the advent of bypass surgery and angioplasty. The same result has been coming up to 2007. And finally, with all these things, investigators tried to pick up angioplasty, because in all the trial there was a bad trend happening in the group of patients who are going for angioplasty. Angioplasty would definitely have an impact on your angina. It has shown to reduce angina much better than medical management alone, but this was achieved with multiple procedure. So this patient who undergone one-time angioplasty actually have to undergo repeat procedure. In fact, in one trial, in 5 years, almost 50% underwent repeat angioplasty procedure to achieve the quality of life. And in spite of that, the quality of life achievement or the anginal reduction, it is not something very great. It is only comparable to medical management. So what they did is they did a landmark trial which is actually changed the course of how you look at angioplasty as a treatment in patient with chronic stable angina. This is called COURAGE trial. So COURAGE is clinical outcome utilizing revascularization with drug evaluation. So comparing a drug with revascularization. So this COURAGE trial was actually presented in 2007, and it has a great impact in even changing the recommendation committee's recommendation for angioplasty in patient with stable condition. So what is that COURAGE trial does? So basically they took around 2000 odd patients, and they all have severe angina. So after some medical management, this patient has been stabilized, and then they did an angiogram. This angiogram, in this group of 2000 odd patients, almost 70% of them have multivessel disease. So it is not a group of low risk, but it is a high risk group with multivessel disease. And then they prefer to do angioplasty in one group of patients, and in one group of patients they manage to do only medical management. Always remember, when I say when they are trying to do angioplasty, it is done over the medical management. So it is a comparison of medical management with medical management and angioplasty. So definitely when you expose yourself at the risk of the procedure as well as cost is so high, we expect some benefit in outcome. It could not be just angina, chest pain or the feel good factor. It should be also a reduction in death and heart attack risk. So this trial not followed up to 4 years and also followed up to 15 years. So even in that 15 years follow up, angioplasty failed to show any benefit, incremental benefit of protecting against death and heart attack. So taking an angioplasty is equivalent to a placebo which have no effect on the outcome. Now let us come to the anginal part, because most of the time the physician who treat the patient argue that we have subjected the patient an angioplasty because this angioplasty would give him a improved quality of life. He can walk more distance, he feel better, he can start working in the routine activity, and if you put him on a treadmill, he can able to walk more distance, and his atypical symptoms like shortness of breath, angina would all come down. Now what they did is they even compared this anginal, free of angina. So if you are free of angina means it's not as everybody is thinking. Even in angioplasty group, when they followed up to 1 year, what they see is 66% with that 58%. So 66% of the patient who have gone angioplasty was free of angina. So does in medical management, 58%. So the difference is a meager 8%. Then they come to a 3 years follow-up. Now look at this, in 3 years it's 72 over 67. So it's almost only a 5% increment. 72% of the patient were anginal free in angioplasty arm, and 67% were them anginal free on the medical management alone. So that is decreased from 8 to 5%. Now the hard part, after 10 years and 15 years, anginal reduction is absolutely equal in both the group. So the theory that angioplasty can prevent your death, heart attack, improve your quality of life, they are all has not been proven in clinical trial. These are all based upon opinion of some interventional cardiologist or cardiothoracic surgeon, because here we are talking or arguing about evidence against opinion. Until today, after even the Courage, MAS and Barry 2D trial, there is no evidence to show this interventional treatment may able to provide any incremental benefit over medical management in preventing a hard endpoint, death and heart attack. But now the story didn't end here. Again, there was a controversy and there was a lot of talk and counter argument between proponent and people who oppose it. And finally, in 2007 to 2020, two very important trial which is ground shaking, which has a paradigm change in the way in cardiology happened. One is Orbita, another in ischemia trial. These two trial in fact has created death bell for interventional procedure in patient with stable symptom. In our next video, we are going to talk about two major trial. One is Orbita, another is ischemia. These two trial will again going to give the same point of no mortality or heart rate prevention of bypass and angioplasty in another randomized control trial which is done very carefully with more than 2000-3000 patients. So this we are going to discuss in our later video.